The Obi-Wan Kenobi series was a true triumph for Disney and Lucasfilm, as it brought together an unexpected story without breaking any rules of the universe's canon. With how successful it was, it's only natural that a second season would be getting mumbled about between the execs, and Ewan McGregor has commented that he's very sure that the initial limited series description will be washed away like a footprint on Tatooine's sandy dunes in favor of bringing the Jedi Master back for a second round. The biggest question is, what could it be about? Well, we've got some good ideas for what we could explore. Stay with us and see if any of your theories for Obi-Wan Kenobi's potential second season make an appearance. Number 5. A battle with morality. The first season dealt with Obi-Wan learning to let go of his guilt and learn how to move on to become the wiser, older Jedi that we meet in A New Hope, who looks an awful lot like the late Sir Alec Guinness. Now that Kenobi has made this transition, there's still some room for him to grow, and it links to his final living moments in the Star Wars universe, his sacrifice at the hands of Darth Vader.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I...
For those who don't know, the solo stories of Obi-Wan Kenobi were originally envisioned for the big screen. Not only that, but it was planned as a trilogy. Writer Stuart Beattie, who received credits for various episodes of the series, was originally tasked with the writing for the planned movies. Beattie commented during an interview that the first season was drawn from the story of the first movie, the idea of surrendering to the Force, and that the second movie would have had Obi-Wan dealing with the idea of surrendering to and accepting death. Beattie noted how Kenobi's death in A New Hope didn't seem off the cuff, and that it seemed to have been pre-accepted by the Jedi Master already. When you look into it, he's not wrong. It did seem to have some forethought behind it. When you think about it, it would be a perfect place for Kenobi's series to go next, especially now that he has contact with his old master Qui-Gon Jinn, who has a lot of experience in dying, what with being a Force ghost and all. To see Obi-Wan struggle with the idea of dying and learning to accept that he may need to give his life at any given time would excel Obi-Wan's wiseness way beyond what we see at the end of the first season. Number 4. A self-contained story. The first season saw our favorite blue lightsaber wielder, sorry Anakin fans, heading across the galaxy for the first time in a decade and encountering an array of new star systems for us fans to enjoy. It was great, but maybe we don't need as much of a spectacle now. It's made clear at the end of the first season that Kenobi is headed back into hiding, but with a new outlook on life and a new place to live. So maybe we could be in for a smaller, but just as compelling story as we head into the second season. Tatooine does have a lot of crime with the Hutts. There's gangsters and bounty hunters all around Obi-Wan at the moment. It would help to make it much more of a character piece. Think of Season 1 as Christopher Nolan's Batman story, with Season 2 as Matt Reeves' Batman story. Yeah? See, that makes sense now, doesn't it? If this were to happen, we would just need to get used to all of the sand. For his own sake, let's hope Vader doesn't make any type of appearance. We all know how he feels about sand.
I don't like sand. It's coarse.
Yes, we've gone so low as making an Anakin hates sand joke. It was bound to happen at some point. Number 3. More known characters. Yes, all of them. Just give us all of the cameos you can get. Okay, let's contain ourselves. It's Star Wars. Cameos and surprise appearances are all the rage in this universe. Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker popping up in The Mandalorian, Palpatine showing himself in Obi-Wan Kenobi's first season, Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. So, would the second season of this show be an exception? Does Anakin Skywalker have both of his hands? The answer is no. There's a list of characters from Star Wars lore that would be suitable to pop up in some shape or form. An obvious choice is Qui-Gon Jinn, but we have a feeling that his appearance in the first season's finale is the best we're getting. But then there's the likes of Ahsoka, who's alive and well at this point. There's Yoda. Who says he and Obi-Wan didn't have any kind of correspondence during their time in exile? We thought the same about Kenobi and Vader, didn't we? There's even the possibility of, wow, yeah, I'm gonna say it, Mace Windu. You can't say it wouldn't be cool for him to randomly pop up to both our and Obi-Wan's surprise. It would give the chance for Windu to maybe be in a similar position to Obi-Wan's in the first season, having given up on the Jedi cause and being downtrodden after the Empire's rise to power. We'd also probably see him with a few battle scars from his fight and defeat at the hands of Palpatine and Anakin, respectively. Well, non-respectively. Damn Siths. While we're on the point, we could also maybe see Obi-Wan find out about Anakin's part in Windu's demise. We never see him find out, remember? A bit of a technicality, but it holds up. Number 2. More from the Lars family. Owen, Beru, and young Luke were not as present in the first series as we expected, but there could be room for them to show up more in a potential follow-up. As mentioned earlier, the second season could give room for a more self-contained story, taking place only on Tatooine. With that in mind, Obi-Wan may stumble back into the lives of the Lars family, and they could even be whisked off on an adventure together. A series of Obi-Wan and Owen with an odd couple-esque relationship would be good fun to see.
Thank you, Owen.
It would give the chance to let Owen elaborate more on what he thinks of Obi-Wan, while the wiser Jedi resists any arguments. It did seem as though they made a sort of amends needed at the end of Season 1, but we know from A New Hope that the pair still aren't really fans of each other.
I don't think he exists anymore. He died about the same time as your father.
Maybe a bit more time together would be all that it takes to fracture the ceasefire they have currently. It's also possible that Beru could be the Lars member at the center of the story, in the same fashion that we expected Season 1 to focus more on Luke, and instead we got Leia. We could find Beru being captured in some way, with Owen reluctantly asking for the Jedi's help to get her home safely. Knowing what happened to Anakin's mother pushed him down a dark path, Obi-Wan may want to spare Luke from the same fate. But would the show center on another search and rescue mission? Time will tell. Number 1. A new look. We can expect there to be a little bit of a time jump if the second season does come to fruition, and with that comes the 9-year gap between the events of Obi-Wan's adventures and A New Hope getting smaller and smaller, which means ultimately Obi-Wan is going to be aging, obviously. We wouldn't expect McGregor to be jumping the gun and going full Silver Fox on us just yet, but a few elements of his appearance to be changing to emphasize the passage of time would be fine and dandy. A sliver of gray in the beard here and there, some Mr. Fantastic-esque silver streaks down the side of his hair. Even just a bit of a trim on the back and sides would be nice to smarten him up a tad and edge him closer to his older self. It would be cool to get the appearance of Obi-Wan that is perfectly midway between McGregor and Guinness's appearances. It's worth remembering that the initial concept art for the first season did see versions of Kenobi sporting some lighter color tones in his facial and top of the head hair, and with a bit of a trim to the hair no less. You've clearly got it in your head, Kathleen Kennedy. Give in to the grayness, trim him down, and you'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Okay, the haircut lines will stop now. A second season of the hit Disney Plus series is definitely being cried out for by the fans. The excitement that the first series created is definitely in need of being replicated. The question is, will it come to be? Again, time will tell. What are your thoughts on a second season? What do you think would happen? Do you even think it should be made? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Oh, wait, another surprise character that should pop up. Boss Nass. No? Not a fan? Yeah, us neither.